Hi guys and welcome to my semi-rant of the Dbrand skin. I was planning a long time to make a video like this, but at some point I always thought maybe it's not the right decision, but at some point I just can't hold it anymore and I have to get off my chest what I think about these skins. And first of all, yes, Dbrand always was so nice to provide me with those skins I did my reviews on, and I reviewed pretty much every material by this day, not maybe every color. And I reviewed it on many devices, and I always said a few things that I have a complaint with, and it's not like they would have listened because they don't care about someone like me reviewing those skins, because they have enough of the big YouTubers who can't lose any chance to make a plug for them. And I'm just not okay with that, because the plug thing is one thing that I want to just quickly get out of the way. I find it to be annoying because on every phone that you see, everyone says, for example, this phone has a glass back, it's slippery, but you can easily rescue that. Just use Dbrand skin and you are fine. Personally, I think these skins aren't improving the grip at all. At least most of the materials don't really do it, because for example here, the G4. I applied the skin yesterday and it made me so mad that I had to do this video, because the plastic that usually comes with is already super grippy. Maybe not for everyone, but this leather for me isn't. Because my main gripes with these skins are the following ones. They are too thick, they don't properly wrap around the corners, and I know you have to use the heat gun, but I will show you one thing that happened for me once I did it on my MacBook Pro. And the second issue I have, they are just too thick and hard. The hard thing is maybe even more of an issue, because once I on the Nexus 5 reviewed Slick Wraps, I reviewed Dbrand, and then I reviewed the X-Gear skin, which is noticeably thinner and noticeably softer, because they always had like a soft touch feel, and I tried like 6 different materials from them. They always had this slightly softer skin, which was first of all super grippy, felt really nice to the hand, but they were, since soft and thin, they properly wrapped around all the corners. And every time I complain about these edges on every phone to be a little bit sharp. The only case that I didn't have this issue was here, because we only have a flat side, not really anything you have to file down. But usually on the corners, or whenever I say it's rough to the touch, because I still notice this, and it's not even that bad on the G4. I have to say they kind of managed it quite okay, but still there is a little bit of an edge you feel, and they always say file it down with your nails. And if you look at it, I did that for an hour yesterday, until I actually slightly cuffed all the edges here. And this is a proper theme. Okay, this device, the review unit of the G4, is kind of scuffed up anyway, so I had a bit of issues, because every time I filed it down, the back itself had a lot of issues or blemishes, and that's why you see them as well. But I maybe properly didn't use the hot gun enough, but I applied this skin already quite good, I would say. But I still feel the edges, and this just doesn't improve on the overall original grip or the feel in hand. It just doesn't feel as good as the original one did, and I will definitely after this review take the skin off again, because of course it's already a review loan as well, and I can't give that back to them. But the other thing is the materials itself, they are just too kind of dry and hard, because this doesn't feel like leather at all. The carbon fiber is even worse, rough on the edges. That's why I don't like that. It kind of feels okay. The texture is really nice, because I think you can see the texture, and they did this job really nice, because the texture looks and feels okay, but it would feel so much better if it would have just been a little bit softer, because it just feels like you would have a piece of wood here and not like real wood. But that's the issue that I have. So that's part of the rant, and I will go a little bit rogue here with the camera. Excuse that for a second, because what I will do now is show you my MacBook, because they also gave me a skin for that. And as you can see here on the corners, this doesn't properly work out. Same goes on this edge as well. It looks nice, as you can see here on the top lid. It definitely, if I zoom out a little bit, sorry, don't mind the chaos, it feels good. And on a laptop, it's a really nice thing, because it adds some protection, which is definitely nice. And now I can go back and actually show myself. And yes, the back is a little bit odd, and I didn't prepare that, but it doesn't really matter. The thing is, my main issue with these skins is, and I know about the MacBook, I didn't properly apply that one because I didn't heat it up well enough, and that's why I didn't smoothly get around the corners. That is absolutely my fault. Let's zoom out a little bit. It didn't properly go out, so that is my issue. But this skin for both top and bottom costs $50. And once you screw it up, you can forget the skin. And I could actually show you one if I would have, but I don't have it right now. I think I threw it away. I had one with the mahogany, and at some point it got greasy because all of their wood textures, they would seem like they get like oil stains. And they said it's like wood age, what is normal. And I kind of agree, but it wasn't even at all. So it was really ugly to look at, and that's why I took it off on my Z3. The other issue is the corners. If you screw them up, as you saw, let's show it once again, it just looks super ugly. Because I will maybe cut off the corners here to make it more okay once again. But if I would have applied it properly, which I didn't get right on both cases because the mahogany didn't look much better, but it did look better. And the carbon fiber on the top, I got it right and it looks good. It still has those rough edges, especially the carbon fiber. But for $50, it's just too much. And that is also actually one of my complaints, the pricing. These things starts from like $8 and for a full skin on some phones it costs up to $20. You can get high quality cases for less money. And yes, one thing I have to agree with, they improve the look of the device a lot in some cases. It really makes it nicer to look at, but I'm not okay if I have such a sacrifice or compromise in terms of feel in hand. And then for this price, I think it's not okay. And they are, for me especially, and I know a few others that are a little bit annoyed as well by their plugs. Because you can't watch any phone review or laptop review if it's an Apple product without any sort of a plug. And I think this gets annoying. And once again, I appreciate and I am thankful for giving me all this review stuffs, even though for most of the devices it wasn't reviewed, so I had to take it off anyways. But I personally wouldn't use it anymore because once I did buy it for the next 5, spent like $40 for 2 or 3 covers. I would never ever buy one again for myself. I would never really recommend one, and I'm absolutely aware of the fact that I am one of the very few people, if not maybe the only one, who has this kind of issue. I seem to be the only one that complains about them. I think they are just too rough, they are too hard, they don't feel good. The only thing they do is improve the looks, but that comes with quite some price. And I think by now their advertisement on Twitter, on YouTube with all the YouTubers gets quite annoying. And of course I would talk different here if they would maybe sponsor me in some way. But by now I would even say I don't want the sponsoring. If I would get the devices for free, I would plug them, but I would still make a separate review and say I don't personally like them. They are okay. I don't want to say that they are bad. The quality is good, but they always talk about precision. And you know what? I work in a job that is needed very precise things, at least where I did my assessment, or I don't know what it's called, where I learned how to work with this stuff. And I worked with precise machines on the nanometer level and all that. Not maybe nanometer, but micrometer. And their precision they are talking about isn't nothing special. They have cutout machines. You only have once to properly measure the device, set the right temp, and then the machine just stamps. And for that, with this vinyl, this product is extremely overpriced, because I would say in production, such a skin that costs maybe $8 is like 10 cents at best, because you buy like a whole vinyl skin, like I don't know how many meters, and then you cut it down, and it has no costs once. Of course, the machines have to be paid off, but I am pretty sure they make a lot of money with these skins because they plug it everywhere. Their advertisement seems to work very well, but I can't get the hype of this anymore. And after applying this one and not being happy again, I just thought I had to make this video, and it's already way longer. And I know I will get a lot of hate on this video, but I'm totally fine with that. And I don't expect any more review devices or review skins from Dbrand anymore, because I don't want any more anyways. I won't review any Dbrand skin anyways. No, I won't. That's it. That was my last Dbrand review. I'm gonna say it once again. Too expensive, just overpriced, too hard, too thick, hard to properly apply because the error of margin is pretty much non-existent. They make them so precise that it's pretty much impossible to properly do it. And all the reviewers that say, just put a Dbrand skin on it. Yes, because they get the device for free with the skin already applied, perfectly applied. If they would have once made it themselves and see what a pain in the ass it sometimes on some devices, especially with curves, can be, I think they would, no, they wouldn't change their mind, because why? They get paid for it. So that's it for my semi-rant. That actually turned into maybe a proper rant, and it's way too long, but I had to get it out of or off my chest. I was storing it inside myself for too long. I gotta cut this off. Until next time, bye.